right, so now I'm going to summarize chi-squared for you. So the first step is always to clearly state our null hypothesis. So our null hypothesis will include the word independent. And then the alternative hypothesis includes not independent. And we actually write these out in words and we use sentences. We have to show H0 and H1. Then we'll be given our organized observed data. We'll have rows and columns, so this will be given to us. Now we can either calculate the degree of freedom ourselves by doing rows minus 1 times columns minus 1, or we can find using df on our GDC. The appropriate level of significance, this will be given to us. Calculate our chi-squared statistic, this is using our GDC. All right, once we have our chi-squared value, we compare it to the critical value. So our critical value, that is going to be given to us. So generally, the way that we can think of this is there's some sort of curve that's going to have our chi-squared critical value. This area is going to have our significance level of rejection. So this is our rejection area. Over here is our accept area. And we're talking about accepting and rejecting of the null hypothesis. So if our chi-squared value is less than the critical value, so if it's somewhere over here, then we're in the acceptance region. And so we accept the null hypothesis. If our chi-squared is greater than the critical value, so somewhere over here, then we're in the rejection region and we reject the null hypothesis. Your calculator, when you do your chi-squared test, so if I just go to alpha C, that's the chi-squared test. Once I calculate it, my calculator will also give me a p-value. I can think of this like a percent. So if my p-value is greater than the significance level, then I'm accepting what has happened. So here I've got a 17% chance of acceptance. Well, if I was looking for a 10% chance of acceptance, then I'm greater than that, so I am accepting. Sorry, a 10% chance of rejection. Since I had 17%, then I'm not going to reject. I find it much harder to remember this though. I think it's much easier to look at your critical value because we can make our picture. So critical value, if I'm smaller, I'm in the acceptance region. If I'm bigger, I'm in the rejection region. And then I write out a sentence. So accept or reject accordingly. This is a sentence we write. And that's a summary of the chi-squared test.